Welcome to the Collect Wagner American Legion Post 109. This afternoon we're celebrating the 243rd anniversary of the birth of the United States Marine Corps.
You all bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day to spend with these men and women that risked their lives for this country, Lord. Thank you for all these people that went out and risked their life and limb to protect this wonderful country, Lord. Please bless this day and bless any food and drink we eat to our bodies, Lord. Please help us have a great rest of our day and enjoy this 243rd birthday. I love you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you enter this lounge, you should have noticed that before us an empty chair and a single lone table draped in black, signifying all of our fallen comrades who are not with us today because they have given the full measure of devotion to our country and our beloved Corps. This single lighted candle reminds us of the flame of eternal life and that the memory of our fallen comrades will be with us always. The Purple Heart Medal is displayed to reflect the shedding of blood and the ebb of life in battle. The identification tags are blank, yet they could bear the names of many of us here today. Only a few Americans, approximately 7%, choose the dangerous and necessary work of fighting our nation's enemies. As a consequence of that choice, some have paid the ultimate price, joining the honor roll of heroes who built the noble legacy of our Corps. For those of us who carry on that legacy, it is our obligation to honor those fallen Marines. As Marines gather in celebration of our history, we gather in the shadows of greatness. Though our fallen can no longer participate in our traditions, they are always to be part of us and who we are. Will the audience please rise?
Sound attention!
Color guard! Color guard! Attention! Color guard! Advance! Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Color guard, return the post.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Of the Marine Corps, directed that as a reminder of the honorable service of the Corps, be published by every command, all Marines throughout the globe on the birthday of our Corps. Since that day, Marines have continued to distinguish themselves on many battlefields and foreign shores, in war and in peace. On this birthday of the Corps, therefore, in compliance with the will of the 13th Commandant, Article 38, United States Marine Corps Manual, edition of 1921, is republished as follows. On November 10, 1775, a Corps of Marines was created by a resolution of the Continental Congress. Since that date, many thousand men have borne the name Marine. In memory of them, it is fitting that we, who are the Marines, should commemorate the birthday of our Corps by calling to mind the glories of our long and illustrious history. The record of our Corps is one which will bear comparison with that of the most famous military organizations in the world's history. During 90 of the 146 years of its existence, the Marine Corps has been in action against the nation's foes. From the Battle of Trenton to the Argonne, Marines have won the foremost honors in war. In the long eras of tranquility at home, generation after generation of Marines have grown gray in war in both hemispheres. In every corner of the 7 seas, that our country and its citizens might enjoy peace and security. In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with the greatest distinction, winning new honors on each occasion until the term Marine has come to signify all that is highest in military efficiency and soldierly virtue. This name of distinction, the soldierly repute we are Marines today have received from those who preceded us in the Corps. With it, we also receive from them the eternal spirit which has animated our Corps from generation to generation and has been distinguishing mark of the Marines of every age. So long as that spirit continues to flourish, Marines will be found equal to every emergency in the future as they have in the past. And the men of our nation will regard us as worthy successors to the long line of illustrious men who have served as soldiers of the sea since the founding of our Corps. This inspiring message from our 13th Commandant has left its mark in the hearts and minds of all Marines. By deed and act, from Guadalcanal to Iwo Jima, from Incheon, the Korean Armistice, to interventions from Lebanon to the Dominican Republic, and from the battles of Vietnam to the Mayaguez rescue, Marines have continued to epitomize those qualities which are their legacy. The success they have achieved in combat and the faith they have borne in peace will continue. The Commandant and our many friends have added their hearty praise and congratulations on this, our 243rd birthday. Hoorah! Hoorah!
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor is an American Legion Post 109 member. Originally from Houston, Texas, he has 4 children, ages from 12 to 22. He joined the Marine Corps in December of 1999. After graduation from MCRD San Diego, he attended A School and became a flight equipment technician. In 2008, he made a lateral move to counterintelligence and human intelligence as an O211 military occupational specialty. He's had numerous deployments to Afghanistan, Thailand, Korea, and around the Philippines, and currently scheduled to deploy to Iraq early in 2019. His personal awards include Navy Commendation Medal with 1 gold star, Navy Achievement Medal with 3 gold stars, Marine Corps Good Contact Medal with 5 stars, National Defense Service Medal, Afghan Campaign Medal with 2 stars, Global War on Terrorist Service Medal, Korean Defense Service Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal with 1 star, and the NATO Medal. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Gunnery Sergeant Tad Johnson.
Hey.
true Marine Corps fashion, everybody come up to me, Marine-wise, asking if I was the guest speaker. I said yes. So instead of words of encouragement, I get, don't have this up. So, cool. I'd like to say good afternoon, and thank you for this great honor of being able to speak here today. You know, throughout my career, I've been asked by either civilians or other defenses or services, what separates the Marine Corps from other services? And the first thing I want to say is no, it's not because we're the only service that eats crayons, but this question was not asked, I think, in a derogatory manner towards the other services. I think they were more inquiring about the rich culture surrounding our beloved Corps. The one thing I want to state before I go into this is I think from the time that any Marine, when they join in and they step on the yellow footprints off of San Diego or Paris Island, the one thing that it always happens, they're stripped down from the life they used to live, and then they were trained and ingrained with core values. All right, so I'm going to read the core values to you real quick, if you do not mind. Definition of Marine Corps core values. The official core values of the Marine Corps, which are the same as those of the Navy. I see some of the Seabees back there. No, I'm not giving you a shout out, so calm down. All right, are honor, courage, and commitment. These values are intended to encompass integrity, discipline, teamwork, duty, the spirit of the Corps, and other values. Because of these values, the culture of the Marine Corps is widely varied, but unique amongst the branches of the United States Armed Forces. Because the members are drawn from across the United States, including resident aliens from other nations, it is varied with each individual Marine, but tied together through core values and traditions passed from generation to generation of Marines. As in any military organization, the official and unofficial traditions of the Marine Corps serve to reinforce camaraderie and set the service apart from others. The Corps' embracement of its rich culture and history is cited as a reason for its high esprit de corps. All right, I'd like to give a few examples. When I first came to this post, the very first Marine that I met was Master Gunnery Sergeant Retired Adams. You know, I went to the post, gave my ID card. They're like, well, we don't know if this is a real CAT card, so we'll send you over to Brad. He can verify this Marine. My first thought was like, yeah, I like to walk around with this ridiculous haircut all the time. So I walked in, gave him stuff. We chit-chat for like we've known each other for years. You know, talking about the whole time how it is here and all that kind of good stuff. Then I joined the post, and then I started meeting other Marines because we all draw to each other. It's like we're magnets. All right, I met Coach, you know, and then I also met Mr. Art. If you do not know this man, he's probably the oldest member here and probably the only member who's ever fought in biblical times. I ended up meeting this gentleman over in the very far corner. He was with two other buddies. And I didn't know him. I didn't know of him at that time. And I was just kind of eavesdropping and listening to their conversations. And then, of course, they were bickering back and forth. And Art goes, you know what I have to say to that? And his buddy goes, what? He goes, F you. I was like, oh, that's a damn Marine. So I walked over, started talking to Art, and then, yeah, they invited me down. We sat down and just had a good old time like we've known each other for a very, very long time. And that's what it is to be a Marine. It doesn't matter what past or what time you have served, brothers are brothers, and we'll always be there for each other. That's just how the Marine Corps, that's what we are. That's our traditions. That's our generations. So although we are brought here today to celebrate the Marine Corps 243rd birthday, all right, we are also here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, courage, dedication, and to say thank you for your sacrifice. Think of our heroes who join us today and those who are only here in spirit. A person can't help but feel awe by the enormity of what we have encountered. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. I'd like to take this time to recognize all my brothers and sisters, both past and present, from all services. Please stand. Let's show our gratitude for these fine Americans. Please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. All right. I know I bored y'all enough, so in conclusion, I would like to say thank you to all you glorious bastards for answering the call of duty. You made our armed forces the most respected and feared fighting force across the world. Semper Fi, God bless.
Thank you, Gunny. With all the Marines present, please come to the quarterdeck. Form two lines, shoulder to shoulder, facing each other. We need to determine the oldest Marine, youngest Marine.
Shoulder to shoulder, facing each other. So one line right there, stop Mike. Recruit Depot, Paris Island, or San Diego. There might be some commonality there. Make new friends. The second and third reason you're up here, Marines, is we need to identify who the oldest and youngest Marines are here. Go ahead and start it off, Nick.
My name is Nick Griggs. I became a Marine in August of 1964. I was released from active duty in August of 1968. I deployed in January of 1966. I spent 2 months in Okinawa and 18 months in Vietnam. I returned to the States in September of 1967, finished the remaining 11 months of my tour with the Marine Corps Air Station, Otoro, California. I went through basic training in San Diego. I mostly served as a in the communications field with artillery and as a forward observer with the infantry. And I was a San Diego Hollywood Marine.
Rah. Mike.
My name is Mike Burns, 1963, San Diego in August, retired September 1st, 1990. Been all over the world with the Marine Corps. Started as a private, retired as a captain, went up through CW3 before I was promoted to first lieutenant. I had nothing but fun and enjoyed the
Seth Jones. Years of service 2000 to 2005. Did a stint in Okinawa. Then I did 3 stints in Iraq. Served with some fine gentlemen like General Mattis and General Dunsford. That's pretty much it. Got out in 05.
Mike Woods, 1994, first Gulf War, 0311, San Diego.
Dave Crow, class of 71, Hollywood Marine. Explosive ordnance. Got out just after 73.
Very good. Neighbor Bob.
My name is Bob Brooks. I enlisted 73 from MCRD San Diego. From there I went to Fort Bliss as a Hawk Missile Systems technician. From there I went to Yuma from August of 73 until May of 77.
John Herbal, I went to Marine Corps Depot, San Diego, 1968, May 27th. Went directly to Vietnam and spent a year there. And then I came home, Caribbean cruise, and got discharged because my parents were having financial difficulties. I spent roughly 3.5 years in the school.
Right.
Stephen Polich, listed 1984, boot camp, MCRD San Diego. Served 5.5 years with 1st Battalion, 9th Marines, deployed Persian Gulf.
Right.
Chris Oliver, served 2013 to 2017. Went to Paris Island, went to the Middle East twice, and here I am.
My name is John Paulus. I entered service July 1969, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. My duty posts were Camp Pendleton, Okinawa 3rd Marine Division, Vietnam 1st Marine Division. My final post was 29 Palms, California, separated out in April 1972.
Right.
Will Jordan, 79, 2004, yes.
You don't have the time.
Entered the Marine Corps in 1945. Retired in 1974. In between that time, I made corporal twice. And of course, God allowed me to be a PFC twice. And then I wound up in Korea and a couple other places. And I wound up a commissioned officer and did my duty to the best of my ability. And I really would like to express more, but we all don't have the time to sit and listen to it. It's very lengthy. I'm 90 years old, and so when I entered the Corps, I guess a little 17-year-old brat from northern Minnesota didn't know one cow from another. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Ed Baker.
Ed Baker from Nebraska, Hollywood Marine, and I never learned to surf.
Neither did I.
Okay, Marines, I need some help here. I think we know who the youngest is. Do we know who the oldest is?
Yeah.
Who's the oldest?
Art.
Art McMahon. Who's the youngest?
A young gunny standing over there.
That's okay.
Oh, there he is.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Marines. Hoorah! Happy birthday!
Want me to do what?
Can you come up and get the old piece of cake? You're the oldest Marine president.
Wait a minute.
Get him all.
This block is set up here.
I want to figure out how you would and would have the old piece of cake on it.
Gunnery Sergeant Johnson.
My poor sword.
You'll get over it.
You only use it once a year.
Just don't put it back in the scabbard.
Chris, Oliver, where are you?
That's why they were nicknamed shafted corporals.
Ensuring you'd be worthy of the title Marine. You joined your first unit. You worked at learning your MOS. You listened to the NCOs and other leaders as they led and shaped you. You received your first promotion and a second promotion. And with each promotion, your responsibilities increased, just like others' expectations of you. You were proud, but you knew that nothing was getting easier. Life, the mission, all of it. And then you deployed. And you were focused. The mission was clear. The challenges were there. You were there with your friends and the rest of the unit. The sorrow, the joy, all of it became real. Not just lessons and stories from NCOs. And then you came home. And you prepared to do it again and again. And maybe there were more promotions. Maybe you fell in love and started a family. And now the new Marines are looking to you for advice and leadership. And like those before you, you taught, you trained them, you led them well. And then seemingly overnight, there you are. And now this is you, still a Marine, continuing to demonstrate your faithfulness to our Corps, our country, and to each other. You are Semper Fidelis Marine. Every Marine needs to see these wheat fields. On the 6th of June, 1918, Marines crossed the line of departure and attacked the west side of Belleau Wood, charging through this field through heavy enemy fire. They paid a high price for their bravery. But they fought and they won because they were Marines. Because they were led by people like Gunnery Sergeant Fred Stockham, a man who gave his gas mask to a fellow Marine in action of self-sacrifice, which earned him the Medal of Honor. 1918 is a proud year for our Marine Corps. While Marines led the way in Belleau Wood, new Marines were stepping up at home. The first female Marines joined our ranks, bolstering our force during a time of war. For 100 years, they have served faithfully, helping win battles around the globe, including recent conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. 100 years ago, they answered the nation's call, and they have been serving faithfully ever since. This dedication to victory is something we can trace back to every conflict in our history. It defines us. It defines warriors like Gunnery Sergeant John Canley, a leader who led from the front. With his Marines outnumbered, he pushed forward during the Battle of Way City, standing tall during firefights and throwing himself into harm's way to keep his fellow Marines safe.
The only thing I was doing was just responding. The Marines, the young Marines, it shows them that it's not do as I say, it's do as I do. And just being that close with them brings motivation to them.
During firefights, when we'd be all hugging Mother Earth, he'd be standing up directing us. And I think if you talk to every Alpha Company Marine, we're amazed that he was never shot.
He is individually and uniquely responsible for saving the lives of a lot of good young Marines. My legacy was about taking care of Marines, because I don't think that there was anyone that was more demanding than Gunnery Sergeant Canley.
The President of the United States, in the name of Congress, takes pleasure in awarding the Congressional Medal of Honor to Gunnery Sergeant John L. Canley, United States Marine Corps.
For 243 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever our nation calls. In the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies, Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity.
Though battlefields will change and capabilities evolve, history tells us that true victory comes from the individual Marine. A Marine with steeled resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight and win against all odds.
That is how battles are won. It takes a steadfast faith, Semper Fidelis, to Corps, the country, and each other.
Happy birthday, Marines.
And Semper Fidelis.
Marines, Semper Fidelis.
Hey, before we all break it up, I just want to thank everybody for being here today, especially the Boy Scouts and our great ROTC.